What's up? This is B-Roc,
And this is J-Pat.
and we're the Knox
And you're watching The Favorites.
on Live in Limbo. My favorite thing about today so far is that we parked in a place where the bus can expand, so we have more room.
And my favorite thing about today so far is that it's not freezing cold like it was yesterday all day. My favorite person to follow on Instagram is Randy Savage AF. And my favorite person to follow on Twitter is Turnt Alien because they post really funny memes.
My favorite person to follow on Instagram is probably our homie, the Fat Jew. And my favorite person on Twitter is Dances with White Girls. My favorite moment was probably when we got the Cameron verse back on the song New York City.
Same, that's mine. Definitely.
When we made our album. It was special because we kind of grew up making rap music and being huge rap music fans, and Cameron's a New York legend and one of my favorite rappers of all time, and the song was really special. It's the opening to our album, and when you give out a song to a rapper and you're not in the studio with him, you don't know how it's going to turn out, and if he's going to really put in the time and work, and we got it back, and it was perfect, and I couldn't have asked for anything more.
I'd say some of our favorite people to work with on this album were probably Powers because they're longtime friends of ours, and Mike and Krista kind of just like get our vibe because we've been making music with Mike for so long. But also Sam Harris from Ex Ambassadors is another homie that we made comfortable with, and he always is coming through with great lyrics and melodies to music that we send him. And I know we just kind of worked with a bunch of our friends. Also, Nick from Walk the Moon, awesome to work with. Pretty much everyone that we worked with, because we made it a point to work with people that we love and like our friends and stuff. So it's not like none of it was like a manufactured kind of label A&R thing, except for Cameron and Alice Newell. But every experience was different and great in different ways because they're all friends of ours. So it's like made the kind of the entire album special.
Favorite remixes that we've ever done, one is probably a Santi Gold remix, and the other one for me is probably one we did of Party Supplies called Going Back to New York. Both of those were actually, one we were asked to do the Santi Gold remix and it wasn't made official. They didn't end up using it, but we still put it out and it did really well and I still love it. And the New York, the Party Supplies one was just because I'm such a fan of that song and it's kind of a big, important song to me, so I really wanted to do it.
My favorite artist right now is probably still Drake. Drake is the man. Toronto. Drake is very fire. He's got bars. That's end of story there.
Most memorable venue to perform at in the world is most likely 930 Club in DC, which is just an amazing venue, and we've sold it out a couple times, and it's just kind of have some big turning points in our career at that venue.
My favorite song to perform live is hard to put a finger on because they're all pretty fun. Probably Kiss the Sky now, because Kiss the Sky is a new song we just put out with Wyclef. Get that. And it's a rap. It's like rappy, dancey, and I get to rap Wyclef's part. And I like had this dream of being a rapper when I was a kid, so it's kind of like living out my dreams kind of way. Because you'll see if you come to the show tonight, we do this whole acapella version of it before the actual part, and I rap acapella, and it's really cool. I don't know.
In our career thus far has probably been getting a release date for our album and actually knowing that it's going to come out. We've been through we've been through another label where it was one of those, oh yeah, keep doing, yeah, we'll work on that, like pushing it back and basically being shelved. And it just felt good to know that everyone's really behind it and that it's really going to come out.
Favorite lesson that I've learned so far on this journey, maybe not my favorite, but probably the most important is being patient, because I mean, as you've probably heard us say maybe 3 times in this interview so far, we've had music ready to go for years, and we just haven't had the album date until recently. So, you know, you think you got it and you don't got it. You think it's going to happen. It doesn't happen. And like other stuff happens and makes you more ready. And you realize that like when you thought you were going to put it out wasn't the right time, and you think it's the right time and then it's not again. And then finally it happens and it feels a lot better because you feel right now, we feel like this is the best music we've made in our careers. So patience is definitely a virtue, and it's a hard lesson, but it's an important one.
My favorite hobby is probably photography. It's a new hobby of mine. I like shooting 35 millimeter film photos, and it's fun. It's perfect for going on tour because we go to so many cool places and have cool experiences. So I get to document it, and it's fun because it's film. So I'll take like 10 rolls on a tour and then just get them all developed and it's like Christmas going to opening them up and see how they all look and stuff.
My favorite hobby outside of music is probably playing basketball, but I don't get to do a lot of that on tour. So sad.
Favorite fan interaction moment as a concert was probably at our Webster Hall show in New York City recently. We had these two guys a guy and a girl show up dressed as our first EP cover, which was these two gingers in like shirts that said the Knox Magic, and they made the custom shirts and they wore these red wigs and like were in front row, and it was just incredible. And then the same fan showed up at our Brooklyn show the other night wearing they took like they had like pleather jackets on and did a stencil of the Knox on the back to look like our jackets. So shout out to those guys because they are legends. It was very much like, whoa, like that's a real fan, especially since it was our first EP cover. You know, it was like came out in 2010. So, you know, like when you have fans coming back to shows for 5 years, that just feels crazy. It feels so good. It's like they're not just, oh, I heard your song and like on Hype Machine, I like this one song. It's like it means they're really invested, which is awesome.